Now, here's the voice of the West Monroe Rebels, Rick Gio.
Welcome, everybody, to Inside Rebel Football. We are live at Freddy's in West Monroe, just off Cypress Street. And we're here every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. We appreciate David and his team here at Freddy's, always taking good care of us, our coaches, our players, and myself and Tim Gallion here with us as well. Dawson Bose back at the studio. And happy to be here on a Wednesday night on LA 105.3 KLIP Monroe, your home for West Monroe High School football. And joined here, as we usually are in the opening segment, with head coach Kevin Davis. And Coach, of course, we always start the show talking about the previous week. Rebels go to Ouachita. Good win, 15-13. Before we talk specifics, talk about what this win means to your program and to this season.
Well, I think it kind of validated a little bit of our road stuff this year, where you usually go over there in a hostile environment, play a team that's a rival, and in the couple of years that I've been involved in it, we hadn't played real well over there, but I felt like just being on the road, getting used to being on the road, playing some really high-level teams in a atmosphere just like what we saw Friday night. I thought that prepared us really well for the game. We weren't wide-eyed. We were ready to play, and our kids and our coaches did an outstanding job. Coach,
going into, and I hate using the term a must-win game because a lot of people just use that term loosely, but the Rebels 3-3 headed on the road to Ouachita. Should you drop that one, you go to 3-4, and you probably face a little more adversity than you want to for the remaining 3 weeks as far as keeping your team, the spirits up, and all that good stuff that comes with a back-to-back loss like that. But you overcome it, you win the ball game. Now for this season, you've got some momentum. And talk to me about maybe the pressure. It relieved a little bit of pressure maybe with the win at Ouachita. You guys just I know coaches feel it, players feel it, and you avoid dropping below 500. Talk to me about what the win meant to your program.
Well, I thought it just, like you said, it kind of gives you a little relief. Not a lot, but it gives you a little. Just get you back above 500, get you back with a win.
Yeah.
I told our kids, when you win a ball game, everything tastes good, smells good, looks good. So that's kind of what you want. You want to have a good feeling coming into this next week, and I thought we did that.
The crowd for West Monroe showed up and showed out.
Yes.
It seemed like the whole band was there, all the spirit groups, a great traveling crowd. Great tailgate before the game. What does that stuff do for you guys as coaches and especially the players to turn around and see that kind of support in the stands?
Well, that's something that our kids, I try not to let them take it for granted because there's nights you can look out across the field and there's, you can hear crickets.
Yeah.
There's just not anybody there supporting. So our kids are very fortunate to have the support that we have from inside the school and from outside the school, and I try to mention that to them as much as possible, to be thankful for that, and use that as energy for them as far as playing the game.
Coach, let's talk about the game. You go in at halftime up 15-13, and no points for anybody in the second half. But let's talk about that first half. Really, the difference, you catch Ouachita sleeping a little bit on an extra point, and so that 8-0, and kind of felt like Pulaski does to some other folks. Now you got to wonder, when do I chase points? Now that could be a difference in the game, and it was. Caught them napping, go up 8-7. They try to go for 2 on their second score and unsuccessful. That was the difference in the game. Talk to me about, is that something you guys look for, something you guys prepare for with the swinging gate?
Yeah, we prepare every week for that. Taylor does a great job, Coach Birch, in setting all that up and preparing for it and studying and watching. And there's several things that we can do off of it, and one of those obviously is for Brady just to catch it and throw it out there to a tight end if he's left all alone, and he was.
Yeah.
And so Brady Guillot to Sam Turner. I'll take that for 2 points and an easy 2 points any day of the week. And so worked out well for us. I usually give him close to free reign for when he can do that. Sometimes I dial it in a little bit and just go, let's kick this thing and let's see how it plays out. But we were very fortunate and did a great job Friday night.
Coach, your offense converted. You were 3 for 3 on fourth downs. Talk to me about that. We talked post-game interview that the Rebels have been on the wrong side of those plays on a few games. You talk about Pulaski, a couple of big plays. Ash, a couple of really 3 fourth down plays that the Rebels were on the wrong side. This week you're on the right side of it. Talk to me about those fourth downs, a couple of really good play calls by Coach Goins. Talk to me about the success behind fourth down last Friday.
Well, we try to tell our kids, give ourselves the opportunity. I'll try to tell him early enough, hey, said this is 4-down territory. You're not. It kind of can change your play calling up a little bit. You don't have to just try to get everything on third when you got 2 downs to go for it. But man, I thought our kids just executed extremely well on those 4. Our stats for our, third down conversions, fourth down conversions, and then red zone conversions is almost through the roof this year. So we've done a tremendous job. We take days and we try to work on it situationally.
Okay.
And so our kids understand and know here's what we're trying to do right here, and they've done a great job.
Coach, somewhat balanced. You had 35 rushes, and of course our stats aren't official. 16 pass attempts. Talk to me about the balance you try to find offensively. Ryder doing a good job with the play action passes, and of course you got receivers. I know Trez and Kavion made a couple big plays Friday night. But talk to me a little bit about the balance of the offense and how you guys are settling in.
Well, I don't think we ever go into a game and we go, okay, I want to throw this thing 25 times and I want to run it 40 times. We kind of let it all play out, and it just kind of seems to work itself out the way it did. I thought the biggest thing and Sed and I talked about this, really wasn't the attempts, it was the completions. We love to be in double digits in completions.
Yeah.
When you're in that, we're not going to throw it, over 25 times a game. So when you're getting double digits, your percentages are pretty high. Things should be going pretty well for you.
Coach, you overcome, you win that game against Ouachita. So, like you said, everything tastes better, smells better, looks better. But you had a chance to watch film. What's some things that maybe West Monroe didn't do very well last Friday night against Ouachita? Something that you guys have focused on this week?
Well, I think it's really a pattern of halves. We had to settle in defensively the first half, and just you can sit here and say a guy's elusive and he's fast.
Yeah.
But you gotta play it.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I thought we adapted extremely well to the tailback and to the quarterback in the second half of the game, and gave him a lot less lanes to run in.
Yeah.
And I thought that made a huge difference in the game. Offensively, up front, I thought we handled them. There was a streak there where we just physically moved the football down the field. And then it's like it went away. We didn't stop running it, and all of a sudden we got in a little hole, and we didn't get out of it. And you just, it's the ebb and flow of the game, like you said.
Yeah.
We always talk about those 4 or 5 plays, and obviously at the end, I think John Barron said he throws out, "What about the reverse?" Sed says, "Coach," because in that situation I said, "Hey, we have 0 to lose, guys. Let's go." And then he calls the fake reverse, which I thought was brilliant too. And wish we'd have put that in the zone. Not to run the score up, obviously,
right.
but just that 22-13 would look a whole lot.
Looks a little different.
Better.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, as we wrap up this segment, I want to congratulate you. A new grandbaby has arrived, and everybody's good. Everybody's healthy.
Oh, they're wonderful. Joetta got to stay with her all last week because we were on our fall break, and that was awesome for Grandmama to get to do that. And they're at home. They're doing very well. She just sent me a picture of of their bath, and she loved it, and she's cute as she can be, and we're very proud for Tanner and for Caitlin because that's their first, and
awesome.
they've done a great job.
Awesome. Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks, that wraps up our first segment. We come back, we'll talk offense. We have our offensive coordinator, Cedric Goins, with us here tonight. We'll be right back on Inside Rebel Football. Stay with us.
At Century Next Bank, employees are busy working for you. Employees like Lee Denny, whose relationships make an impact in the communities we call home.
So to see positive impact that these relationships can have when you work with other people, when other people appreciate it. And again, it goes back to spending time and trying to help somebody, and it's a very rewarding thing for me as well.
For more on Lee's story, visit bankwithlocals.com. Century Next Bank. What's next for you?
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for listening to Inside Rebel Football here on LA 105.3. Also will be uploaded to YouTube on the West Monroe High School YouTube page, which actually you can find that on the West Monroe Football Facebook page. Coach Ashley does a great job with that. He'll have that uploaded for us sometime tomorrow. You'll be able to find that again on the football Facebook page. We appreciate all of our sponsors and especially our host, Freddy's, here in West Monroe. Get a chance now to revisit with offensive coordinator Cedric Goins, and we had Coach Goins on in week one. Now we're back in the rotation. He's here with us on the show, and Coach, some really awesome play calls as one of those nights where yards were somewhat hard to come by. Let's talk first about the game plan going into Ouachita. You knew that up front they were very physical, very good, especially the two defensive tackles, and knew they gave Ruston some trouble. Heading into Ouachita, let's talk about the game plan that you were going in there with. What was something you thought the Rebels should have to do well to succeed?
Well, we knew for a fact that it was one of the better defensive fronts that we'd see. They got the two big guys in the middle, but they also had one really, really good defensive end. So we knew ahead of time.
At number 6?
Yes.
Yeah, he was good.
We had to find ways to get the ball on the perimeter, whether it was running on the perimeter or throwing the ball out quick to the flats. And we did that early.
Yeah.
We moved the chains, get them going sideline to sideline, and then mix a little going downhill at them. Mm-hmm. And it worked bits and pieces of the night. Sometimes I think we shot ourselves in the foot. Whether it was misreads or, just being a step too slow. But, we were able to get yards and move the ball at crucial points in the game when we needed to, and, we were able to get out of there with a W.
Yeah, Coach, you had some big-time play calls on fourth down. Rebels 3 for 3 on fourth down last Friday night, and, of course, everybody remembers the double reverse, the fake reverse that you called at the end of the game. Talk about those play calls and what goes into when you get in a situation like that. I'm not telling you to give away your secrets, but when you're in a fourth down situation like that, what's that process like of calling a play? You've got the hardest job on the staff, right? Everybody in the stands can call plays, right? So what's that thought process like when you're in that situation?
Man, it's one of those. Down and distant plays a big part of it. We go in every Sunday. We crunch numbers. We know exactly, what front and what coverage they're going to be in, whether they're blitzing or not in those situations based on the times they've been in that situation and previous times that season. We use that data and we come up with different plays that we want to see if we get to those situations. Each week we go through certain situations. On Mondays is third down situations. Yeah. Tuesdays goal line, Wednesdays 2 minutes.
Okay.
So we kind of prep ourselves along the way for it. And in that first situation, it was a fourth and medium.
Yeah.
So of course we kind of spread it out. The odds say they're gonna stack the box and blitz. So hey, we're gonna get the ball out on the perimeter. In a 4th and 1 situation, of course, we're going up the middle. In a 4th and 15, you just you gotta be creative.
Well, you guys certainly were there at the end of the game, Coach, and just want to congratulate you on that. As I said, everybody likes to call plays from the stands, and so I know that's difficult job to do. You've made an adjustment, started the season on the sideline for the offense. You've transitioned up to the press box. Now, is that something you're going to continue to do, and what was the thought process behind that move?
In 2 of the losses early in the season, the first one would be the Evangel. lost in the Jamboree, and the second one was the Catholic. We made adjustments at halftime that kind of gave us a spark in the second half. And when I'm on the sideline, I'm sitting there, I'm correcting the kids when they come off the field. I'm running the video on there. So I don't never get a chance to sit and plan for the next drive.
Okay.
Well, I've kind of had to learn to trust my coaches and let them do that. And while they're doing it on the sideline, I'm up in the press box able to go ahead and start, revisiting, looking at fronts, looking what they're giving us, and attacking from there.
How are you liking that? Has that been a tough?
It's hard.
I know you like to be
It's
down
hard.
in the battle.
I'm very, very hands-on.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of phone calls or conversations about it. Some people saying, "Hey, those kids need to hear what you got to say." But from a production standpoint, I think we've been able to do a little bit better. I've been able to be a little bit more prepared by doing that, and like
cool.
I say, it was something that I brought up. I talked to Coach Davis about it first. I talked to the rest of my staff about it, and they were kind of like, "Well, why?" And I was just like, "Hey, I think it's best," and I tried it. I liked it, and for the foreseeable future, I plan on staying there.
Gotcha. Well, it's certainly. Like you said, it has its pluses, but I was like, I bet Coach said is just itching to get down there and yell at somebody or encourage somebody one way or the other. Coach, let's talk about your running back room. You had a good production Friday night from Boobie Miles. He had 115 yards and give or take a few there with our stats. And Keidron McNeil was a hot hand one night. Pawnee was a hot hand one night. Talk to me about your running back room and the thought process and rotating those guys in throughout a ball game.
It's one of those things. We just talked about being upstairs and able to get a chance to see it. In the last two ball games, we've had two different guys that go for over 100 yards.
Yeah.
And then you had a third guy who had a really decent night as well. Each one of them are different styles runners. Okay. All of them have their pluses. And what we try to do is we try to work to their strengths. And when the game plan falls within their strengths, that's who we go with.
Gotcha.
We told them at the beginning of the spring, hey, we're going to need all four of y'all. Mm-hmm. And it is what it is. You never know when your night's going to be. So just be ready when it comes. Yeah,
well, you certainly it's kept everybody guessing, who's going to have the hot hand tonight. And we talk about that on the broadcast a lot. What a luxury it is to have. Those four guys, and then you've got Ziggy just itching over there to get his chance too, and he's certainly a lot of fun to watch. Let's talk about Pineville this Friday night, senior night at Rebel Stadium. Finally get to come back home and enjoy a ball game there. But what have you seen on film from Pineville? What's something that the Rebels have been working on this week?
They're kind of the same thing that we've seen the first 6 weeks of the season.
Okay.
They play in a lot of odd fronts, so last week we finally got a chance to see a four-man front. So this week we go back to seeing what we've seen majority of the year. They have a few guys they have a couple linebackers that'll stick their nose in there and hit you pretty good.
Okay.
And so our job right now is just to make sure that we stand focused and we take advantage of everything that they give us and execute and not fall into this a trap game.
Yeah, that's right. Certainly is always a chance after a big win. And then you've got an undefeated Neville team looming in the distance the next Friday night. So certainly a trap opportunity for Pineville on Friday night. Coach, you've got two guests with you tonight. Tell me about those guys.
We've got Keidron McNeil, number 7, is the tailback for us, and Christian Pawnee, number 22, who plays both tailback and fullback for us. Yeah. Both of them are juniors. Both of them have started in different situations since they were sophomores. Mm-hmm. Two very, very high character guys. Yes sir, no sir guys. Does exactly what you ask for of them. And I've had the pleasure of coaching them this year.
Awesome, Coach. Always a pleasure visiting with you, and appreciate you being here on the show. And wish you the best of luck moving forward. I don't know if I'll get a chance to have you back on the show or not. If not, man, I wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate it, Rick.
All right, folks, that was offense coordinator Cedric Goins. When we come back, we'll visit with Keidron McNeil and Christian Pawnee. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For years, you've trusted us with your car buying experience. You've trusted us to provide service after the sale. You've even trusted us to help keep your vehicle clean. Now it's time for us to have some fun.
Polaris of Ruston, where the road ends, adventure begins.
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for hanging with us here on Inside Rebel Football live at Freddy's in West Monroe. You've heard our other sponsors throughout the broadcast tonight: Jim Taylor Ford, Family Convenience Clinic, Century Next Bank, Home Improvement Outlet, Polaris of Ruston, Twin City Chiropractic, Rocket Fast Car Wash, Doopy Flooring, and Dr. Jeff Counts. We appreciate their support of Inside Rebel Football, our coaches show, and, of course, our host, Freddy's. Let's see, get a free original double burger. Sign up with Freddy Rewards and get a free double burger. And we appreciate their support and their hospitality. Two guys that you've heard a lot on our broadcast on Friday nights, two running backs, Keedron McNeil and Christian Pawnee, join us here on Inside Rebel Football. And, guys, welcome to the show. Keedron, we'll start with you. First off, happy birthday, man.
Yes,
I'm not going to sing to you on air, but tell you happy birthday, and I hope today's been a good day, and maybe the coaches took it a little easy on you at practice today. Let's talk about this running back room. There's been 4 and sometimes 5 of you guys rotating in ball games. We've called a lot of different names, and some nights you've got the hot hand. Some nights it's Boobie Miles that's got the hot hand. Talk to me about the running back room and how you guys get along, and then also how you guys compete and then encourage each other.
Yes, sir. Having like all of us in the room together and having our different play styles and having us in different situations, it's helped us go a long way. Having Boobie, he can run it hard. You got Christian, he can run it hard, and then you got me with the speed that can bounce it outside. You got Ziggy also, but Christian and Boobie can also do that. And I feel like we've learned a lot from each other's play style, and it's helped us develop as a running back room.
Yeah, you bet. And you got Big Willis who can get to you the bang one down, right in the A gap there. And so, Keedron, you mentioned your running style, more of a quicker, try to get the ball to the perimeter. Is there a running back that maybe you pay attention to, that maybe you want to emulate his running style? Is there, or mimic how he plays the game? Is there a running back that you pay attention to?
A running back I've always looked up to is Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
I like how he plays. He's patient, or he can just burst and hit the hole quick.
Yeah, that's a good one. Definitely a good one to pay attention to. Christian, certainly more of a downhill running style. It looks like you do not avoid contact, and it's a lot of fun to see. Talk to me about your running style and your thought process behind that.
Well, yeah, I'm certainly a north and south running back. And
when you get a chance at tailback, so there's a big difference, right? You're at fullback sometimes, and then in the H-back sometimes, and you get that chance at tailback. Do you get excited that, hey, I get a little more running start here? Which one do you like better? You like tailback or tailback?
I love blocking for Key and Boobie always. But, I mean, I feel good when I open up a hole and let them get a long burst for a run.
Yeah.
But I love getting a little head start at tailback.
That's right.
Definitely.
Catching, you've caught a few passes out of the backfield too. Talk to me about that responsibility in the fullback or the H-back position, the ability you have to catch a pass when that time comes.
Certainly. I hope I can emulate in my game next year or these upcoming weeks to be more of a catching back. I know I got to work on my hands a little bit. But, I mean, I love getting an open field. Yeah,
well, you've had some good opportunities and had some big plays out of the backfield catching the football. Both of you guys are hard workers. And a lot of folks listening maybe don't realize what goes into this position in the offseason. Running back is certainly, you have to be durable and, of course, be athletic with shifty and being strong as well. Keedron, let's start with you. Your offseason routine. What's something this offseason you really wanted to focus on and get better at?
One thing I needed to focus on a lot was my explosiveness. Like, I can hit the hole and I can go, but I need to get to the point where I can just hit the hole, cut, and bounce, and keep the same speed or increase. Yeah.
Christian, what about you? I know you had a pretty rigorous off-season routine this season, and talk to me about what that routine consisted of.
Well, I believe in early bird gets the worm, so I wanted to wake up before everyone else, get my work in before everyone else, work out during our hour with everyone else, get a little bit extra work in. And I'm seeing right now in the season what I need to work on, and hopefully I can put that into next year's off season.
When you say work out before everyone else, what time in the morning would you go do that?
I'd get up at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and get to the field at about 4:45.
Yeah.
And then work out 4:45 to 5:45. Get to wellness, ice bath, do my lift, and then I'd shower and get to school.
That's dedication and a little craziness in there, Christian. So, but definitely something to admire and appreciate. Moving forward, Kedron, big win against Ouachita. What did that mean to you guys? And I know you guys are both juniors, and we'll hopefully get another crack at this next season. But the win, what did that mean to this team when you guys went to Ouachita and pulled that off?
It meant a lot. It showed that we could play all 4 quarters and that we're just not a half team, or that we're not just a quarter team, that we can go all the way and that we're a really good football team.
Christian, practice this week. Certainly, Pineville, this game sets up as somewhat of a trap game. You come off an emotional win at Ouachita. You got Neville, who's undefeated, looming next weekend. And here's Pineville coming in with a 500 record. Certainly somebody you could possibly overlook if you're not careful. What's been the message this week, and how has practice been for you guys this week?
Well, yeah, we can't take them lightly. That's for sure. I believe they put up 21 points around that range against Ash.
Okay.
And I mean, we can't take them lightly. Hopefully we can come out going hard and get some of our younger guys in, though.
Guys, both of you, you know, it's senior night Friday night at Rebel Stadium. Kedron, I'll ask you, you know, this senior class, what have they meant to you? Anybody that you'll remember, and anybody that really that you appreciate in leadership standpoint? I know one of them's or a couple of them are in your running back room, but talk to me about this senior class and what they've meant to you.
3 guys I really look up to are Booby, Willis, and Fuqua. I look up to Booby because he's helped me develop a better running back style, being patient, waiting for my blocks, hitting it inside. And with Hayes, he's showed a lot of character. He lifts our guys up, and he keeps the team spirit up.
Gotcha. Christian, same guys you're around. You know, those guys stand out to you as well.
Yes, sir. And then Tyler Roark too. I love me some Tyler. He's always motivating, always humble.
Yeah, well, he plays extremely hard with a high motor, and
yes, he does.
He's a lot of fun to watch, and certainly appreciate all he's done for this program. Guys, we wish you the best of luck Friday night. Appreciate you being on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
all right,
Mr.
folks. Yep, you bet. That's Kedron McNeil and Christian Pawnee. We come back, we'll turn the page. We'll talk some defense with defensive coordinator Rob Arledge. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Coach, look what I got. The Rocket Fast playbook. That's awesome, Sport. What does it say? First, you get him in the tunnel. Second, you blindside him with the wall of foam. Third, you call an audible. Then comes the Hail Mary. You hit him with the fast pass. Coach, it's brilliant. No dirty opponent stands a chance against Rocket Fast.
Hey, that's my playbook. Where'd you get that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just sing the song.
Rocket Fast. It's a blast. And your vehicle is clean.
Welcome back, folks, to Inside Rebel Football live here at Freddy's on Cypress Street in West Monroe. Another quick shout-out to Dawson Bowes back at the studio. Always does a great job for us here on Inside Rebel Football, and, of course, on Friday nights in our broadcast. And, of course, Tim Gallion always makes it easy for us. We show up at Freddy's. He's ready to go. And same thing on Friday nights.
The best.
We are spoiled. That's right, Rob. We show up. Tim has got everything ready for us. And when it's over, he doesn't let us help him break it down. I don't think he trusts us. I think maybe he's scared we're going to break something. But we'll sit there and hang around. It's like, guys, I got it. Y'all go. It's like, okay, man. But anyway, we appreciate both of those guys. And folks, now joined by defensive coordinator Rob Arledge, and no stranger to our audience. Been around the program a long time. And I asked you this in the first show, but how many years is it now?
This is my 25th.
25 years.
Yep,
wow.
25 years.
Well,
I used to be one of the young ones.
Yeah, now you're the old man.
I know. I know. Me and Katie are like the oldest too. It's crazy.
Well, before we start talking football, I want to ask you about Litton. Of course, suffered an injury at the beginning of the year and set him out for the rest of the season. What's the update on Litton? How's the ankle?
He's doing good. Pulaski, I guess it was second series of the game, comes limping over, and I'm like, what the heck? And torn ligaments in his ankle, shattered fibula, has surgery the next week. He's been recovering well. Been in the cast, I guess, past 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now he's in a walking boot, but he's still non-weight bearing, so he still has to use his little scooter. He's been scooting around. That was one of his biggest worries, like Dad, I'm going to get a scooter. I'm like, yeah, we'll get you a scooter. So, but he's doing good.
Good.
I think he starts rehab in a couple weeks,
Okay.
and hopefully be back for baseball.
Well, I was going to ask you, I mean, there's a lot of folks listening that are like, man, he better be ready for baseball. Got to have that guy.
I know. Coach Semino, he's been on my case. He's been sending me text messages about physical therapists and stuff like that. And but, yeah, he's doing good, and I think he'll be back.
Good. Coach, let's talk a little football. Your game plan going into Ouachita, I remember at Rebel Club, and you were talking about, look, schematically they don't do anything over the top. It's fairly basic.
Yeah.
But they have some really good athletes that can take a bad play and turn it into points almost. Your game plan going into Friday night?
We felt like if we could contain them, we could do well with them. And we were a little too tentative, I thought, the first half.
Okay.
Once we kind of figured out, hey, we can, chase these guys down, I thought the second half we started taking our shots at them, especially guys like Tyler and Parker Todd and things like that. And I thought we played a lot better the second half than we did the first.
Yeah. Well, certainly, first half, first carry, Dave takes one around the corner, and we're in the booth like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I was too. I was like,
this is not good.
Yeah.
Well, he certainly settled in, pitched the shutout in the second half. One thing I want to ask you about, too, that was certainly noticeable Friday night was the spirit that the defense played with. Just an infectious spirit, and you could see after a big play, you had 3 or 4 guys almost celebrate that play. There was just a little different attitude, it seemed like, the defense had on Friday night. Talk to me a little bit about what was behind that.
Well, you got your back against the wall.
Yeah.
And when you have that, when you get backed into a corner, 2 things are going to happen. You're either going to come out fighting or you're going to back out of it.
Yeah.
And I felt like our kids would, and they did. They came out fighting.
It was certainly a lot of fun to watch. And, you talk about spreading the field out and speed all over the place. You guys have played some really fast offenses. I didn't think it could get any faster than Pulaski. And then, you see Ash come out and maybe the fastest ones of the season. Talk to me about how playing those guys early in the year has prepared you. Now you're going into district, and you won't see anything much faster than that.
Right. Last year, I think back to last year, our pre-district wasn't quite as fast. It was a lot slower as far as the pace of play, from play to play. Coach Ashley gets, he watches film and he times from one snap to the next snap. How long does it take? Some offenses are 30 seconds. Some of them, like you playing Pulaski and North DeSoto, they're going to be under 10 at times.
Yeah. Wow.
and so that puts pressure on you.
Sure.
And I thought this season compared to last season, we've seen more of those offenses coming into district. And we're more prepared, and we're going to see another team this week. They're gonna try to hurry you up.
Okay.
They play fast, and so we're gonna have to be lined up and ready to go. Talk
to me about Pineville. We got Pineville coming in here Friday night, senior night at Rebel Stadium. Talk to me about. You don't have to give me the game plan, but what's Pineville bringing in? What's the scouting report on those guys?
So 2 weeks ago, their quarterback got hurt. Pretty good quarterback, throws the ball well. Kind of manages the game, does a good job with that. He gets hurt. And so this was right before district started. I think they were playing Red River. And so the rest of that game, it was about halfway through that game, they kind of went to a Wildcat. Okay. Their running back, who's really good, by the way, number 23, I can't remember his name offhand, but he's got very good wheels. Matter of fact, he rushed for over 400 yards against Tioga.
Wow.
Yeah. Very capable runner. I mean, I saw him break away from Neville. I saw him break away from Ash.
Yeah.
The guy can run, really run. And then they have a couple other guys that aren't bad either. So we're going to have our hands full there. Depending on if the quarterback plays or not, depends on how much they're going to throw and how much Wildcat we're going to see.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. So, it depends on what shows up.
Well, it sounds like we better tackle. I mean, this guy certainly a missed tackle could result into a very big play.
Yeah, he's not a jitterbug guy. I mean, he's a flat speed. He can run. He's pretty powerful. But they do have a couple other guys that are kind of that way.
Coach, 25 years, been here, been around the defense for all 25. Played defense, of course, everybody knows your father. And talk to me about the evolution of the game, of offenses. Are there still some things that we did way back that you still have in as far as a call goes, or something that you incorporate in this defense? How much old school is left in the defense?
We were 43 back in the day. That's kind of what we started out as when I played, and we were 43 up until probably the Mingo era.
Okay.
And we kind of changed a little bit during that time, and that's because the personnel changed, what we had defensively as far as the number of linemen.
Yeah.
Of course, we had Will Blackwell and Luther Davis, and so we kind of changed our defense during that time period. We went to more of a 3-4 front.
Okay.
Then the next evolution was the spread offenses, and so we went to more of a nickel package where you have 5 DBs in the game, 4 down linemen, 4-2-5, and that's kind of what we've kind of settled in the past few years. But there's still some old school calls in there.
Yeah.
The 50 defense, 52.
Yeah.
All of our signals are still the same. Blast.
Yeah.
You probably heard that a lot.
That's right.
51 blast. I mean, that's a call that we've called since the beginning of time. But yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of our calls in there. Gap.
Yeah. I love it. I love hearing that.
All the signals are pretty much the same. If you can remember those signals, it's pretty much the same.
That's awesome. Well, it's good. Some things can stay consistent, and some traditions stay consistent with West Monroe, especially that defense and all 11 guys around the football, and that was something we got to see Friday night. Coach, glad to hear Litton's progressing well, and always a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, appreciate it, Rick.
All right, folks, that was defense coordinator Rob Arledge. We come back, we'll visit with Kyler Franum and Daniel Chevalier here on Inside Rebel Football. We'll be right back.
The Home Improvement Outlet has a must-see iron door collection. Whether you're a homeowner or a builder, we have the perfect iron door for you. And check out our cutting-edge smart glass option, offering privacy and style at the touch of a button. With many glass options available, you can customize your door to match your unique style. We have iron doors that pivot, slide, and so much more. The Home Improvement Outlet in West Monroe.
Now cue that jingle.
The Home Improvement Outlet, you're building for less.
Welcome back, folks, to Inside Rebel Football. Now joined by a couple of seniors, Kyler Franum and Daniel Chevalier, and 2 familiar names to our program. Guys, welcome to the show. Daniel, we'll start with you. I know you're not used to being called Daniel. Most people call you Chevy. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, Chevy, you've been the long snapper, deep snapper for the Rebels now for a while, and have made a name for yourself in that. Talk to me about that craft. What on a daily basis? Take me through your preparation, your practice, your work. What goes into being successful at that position?
Well, it's a good bit of work. I've been doing it for about 6-7 years now.
Okay.
Got into it, never really looked back.
How'd you get into it? What made you start?
So I was always a center growing up, and my dad knew a dude named Johnny Robinson.
Okay.
And basically told him, best position on the field.
Yeah.
Don't get hurt. You can make millions. My dad was like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I mean, I could snap the ball, so just fit.
Yeah. So, take me through a day at practice. You're over there with the kickers and punters just snapping, and holders get involved every now and then. What's your daily work like?
Usually starts off, I walk out, do a couple lunges, grab a football, snap a few times for pre-practice.
Yeah.
We go stretch.
Yeah.
Then we do some field goals with the team.
Mm-hmm.
Usually do those on air. Then turn around. A couple periods later, we just snap, take a break, snap.
So it's almost the muscle memory. You don't have really time to get nervous about it anymore. I would imagine, as you run out there and we got a 40-yard field goal attempt, or it's 4th and 10 and we got a punt. Are there nerves involved in deep snapping at all anymore for you?
In big games, there are.
Yeah.
But just don't think about it.
Just get out there and do what your muscles remember to do. Kyler, playing in the secondary this season, you guys have seen it all. High-flying offenses a lot of talent around. Talk to me about what that's been like this season. You've been around this program for a long time, and talk to me about what that's been like this year and the challenges that you guys have had to face.
Yes, sir. I mean, I've been here for a long time, so
yeah.
it's kind of seeing all the defenses or the offenses, and kind of done a lot. So it's kind of we're still working as DVs, to different offenses and stuff. But I think we're really getting it this year, and we kind of understand.
Well, you've been forced to. You've been forced to grow together pretty quickly with the offenses that you've faced. You suffered an injury this season and had to overcome that. And that injury happened, the very beginning of the season,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Was that in a practice?
Yes, sir. Like before the first week of practice.
Wow. So here you are, senior season, collarbone injury.
Yes, sir.
And that happens at practice, and you're like, of course, you got to see your dad there at the field. Talk me through that. What was that? What was going through your mind in that moment of, I can't believe this just happened, I haven't even started the season yet?
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't fun. I was like kind of heartbroken, because I mean it's senior season. But my dad, I had surgery, and then my dad really kind of helped me get back, and I was back in about 5-6 weeks. So
wow.
The recovery process has been pretty fast.
Any issues with it now? Still having to treat it, or
still treat it, and I just put like a pad on it.
Gotcha.
And then I just go.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Kyler, excuse me. You've been around. We've said it a couple times. You've been around this program for a long time. You've grown up around this program with your father, of course, Kirk Franham, our head trainer. What's that like now, being a senior? This is your senior year, and is it surreal to you? What's that like, being around the program for so long?
I mean, it came fast,
Yeah.
I feel like I was just a freshman, but I mean, I've been around it. Look forward to being a senior, and I'm here now, and I'm excited.
Just enjoying it.
Yes, sir.
Week by week. Chevy, same for you. What's it like, being a senior on this team? This is it. This is it for you, and what's that been like this season for you?
I mean, being a senior, the only thing you really think about is let's go win state.
Yeah. Let it all hang out. This is it. Well, guys, I like to tell our seniors I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate how you wear that jersey and what it means to you and how you represent former players, graduates in our community. So keep up the good work, and best of luck the rest of the year. Folks, that was Kyler Franham and Daniel Chevalier. We come back, we'll wrap up the show with head coach Kevin Davis. Stay with us here on Inside Rebel Football. We'll be right back.
Do you want to feel better and perform better and get back to doing the things you enjoy? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Kyle Nix at Twin City Chiropractic. If pain or injury have got you down, we provide long-term solutions to get you back to 100%. Our services include chiropractic care, spinal rehab and traction, deep tissue laser, and Normatec compression. If you're an athlete, weekend warrior, work on a computer all day, or even involved in an auto accident, we can help your body perform at its best. Feel better, perform better at Twin City Chiropractic. We're located at 1117 Forsyth Avenue in Monroe. Call us at 318-582-5029.
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for listening tonight to Inside Rebel Football. We've enjoyed our interviews with offensive coordinator Cedric Goins, defensive coordinator Rob Arledge, and, of course, a couple of familiar running backs to you, Keidron McNeil, Christian Pawnee, and then a couple seniors in our defensive segment with Kyler Franham and Daniel Chevalier. And now to wrap up the show, head coach Kevin Davis joins us. And, Coach, we always start off this segment. We ask about the sub-varsity teams. JV season was over a couple weeks ago. Freshmen wrapped things up on Monday night with a win over OCS. Tell me about those guys and the season that they had.
Both groups had great seasons. I think they came out of there with one loss each and a bunch of wins, and so that's always encouraging for our guys. I felt like we did the right thing by playing. All of our JV kids are either backups or just sophomore kids that played on the JV, so they had a great year. You could tell it this summer just the way they worked and kind of the mixture that we were going to have. That they were going to have a pretty good year. And only team, like I said, we got beat by was Ash, and they played a whole lot of varsity kids on that game, and that's okay. I mean, if that's the way you want to run it, that's fine. But I just felt like our kids did a lot better job just getting the work.
Sure.
Freshman-wise, got beat by Ruston one time, and just had great wins all throughout the year. Got to play a lot of kids I got to see a lot of kids grow up and play the game, and we've called a few of them up just to help in scout team. You want to keep kids, playing. You want to keep kids interested. Some went to basketball, some are going to soccer. That's fine. But a lot of them are going to stay and just help us out, or the ones that we've asked to. And they'll dress with us on home games.
Okay.
So that'll be a new experience for them. And it's just, exciting to have some new guys out there. They're a little wide-eyed at first, but I think they're starting to adjust and kind of fit in.
Good. Well, I know it's a tradition that's been around for a while. The freshmen, after freshman season, get a chance to help the varsity team get ready for nights like Friday night. Let's talk about Pineville coming into Friday. Of course, I heard Coach Arledge talk about they've got a very special running back, Aiden Tate, who'll get a lot of carries Friday night. But talk to me about this Pineville team that's coming into Rebel Stadium.
They're athletic. They can run. And so defensively, you better get ready to defend. If the quarterback's back, I don't know the extent of his injury. If he's back, he makes it's a whole new game plan. So you're really preparing for two. But the one that he brings into the game is what we faced against Ash and what we faced against all these other teams. So it's not like it's a big adaptation that you got to make. But defensively, they're a little undersized in the front. They'll play out of an odd front, and then they'll play out of an even front a little bit. They like to play a cover 4 shell behind it, which kind of leaves you. It'll be interesting to see if they do that with the way we run the football. Everybody else that throws the football, that's what you want to do. You want to be 4 shell and just rush out of that. But as much as we run the football, I can't imagine them. They're going to play 8-man in a box and come get after us.
Coach, it'll be senior night, so our listeners, if you're listening, come early to the ball game and help us recognize these seniors in this senior class. And I'm going to read their names off, and Lucas Dupriest, Orlando Weber, Zach Fulmer, Javion Pickens, Andrew King, Caden Willis, Renaldrick Miles, Kyler Franham, Litton Arledge, Luke Wall, Tyler Roark, Noel Guerrero, Kadarius Gamble, Daniel Chevalier, Raekwon McDaniel, Daniel Lane, Coley Porter, Jackson Thompson, Philip Dunaway, Parker Todd, J.Q. Turner, Hayes Fuquay, Jay Shedd, Bodie Costello, Nate Summerall, and Chances Stewart. And, Coach, senior class always leaves their mark on a program. You had a chance at Rebel Club to talk about these seniors individually. Let's talk about them as a group. What have they meant to this program? You'll have a chance to recognize them Friday night, but talk about this class and how you've watched them grow up over the last few years and what they mean to the program.
Well, 26 seniors, that's, you want anywhere from 26 to 35 next year. We might double that number.
Wow.
But from the word go, they've come in and they put in the work. They did it this summer. They were here. They took care of business. And they just kind of led by example. They knew that it was their turn to have to lead.
Yeah.
And they stepped into that role and did a tremendous job. They're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, and we're excited about that. Not a lot of vocal guys, but lead by example. Get after it. All you got to do is watch them. They're going to work hard day in and day out. They're going to bring their lunch pail. They're going to come to work. Going to do it with a smile on their face, with a positive attitude, and you can't ask for more than that for a bunch of guys. I bragged on them the other day. There's times that we called it up at the end, and we have to go through a list. Okay, Coach Dizer goes through the list of maybe if somebody were late, maybe if somebody missed, maybe if he got an email or a phone call from a teacher. And that just starts wearing on you. We haven't had those this year. We'll have some, be late or miss a practice, but they'll let somebody know. But what's happening in that school building is awesome. Cool. Because they have not said anything. The teachers have not contacted us saying, look, you got to do something with this guy. So it says a lot about the maturity of a program and a bunch of guys that are trying to take care of their business, not only off the field but on the field.
Yeah, certainly. You saw just really kind of some more emotion Friday night. I saw Hayes really excited after a few big blocks downfield that he had. And, of course, Tyler Roark and Parker Todd, your defensive identity. J.Q. Turner as well has had a tremendous season. So, man, we appreciate Chance Stewart, big night as well Friday night. As we wrap up the show, Coach, as we've gone throughout this season, I've kind of let our audience get to know you personally a little bit better. And I don't think we've ever talked about this. So when Coach Davis is watching football on a Saturday, what college team do you follow and do you root for? It's a tough question because you could create enemies real quick if you say the wrong one. What's the college team that you're following on Saturday?
I tell you, wow,
on the spot.
That's really good. Coming from Texas, I was probably always a Longhorn guy to begin with. I'm going to pull for them anytime they play. If A&M's playing, I'm going to pull for A&M. I'm going to pull for those guys. I've always been a guy that kind of likes LSU's playing. Okay, I'm going to pull for LSU. I almost pull for coaches in some respects. Okay, the guys that I feel like do it the right way.
Okay,
go about doing it the right way. I don't know if y'all have seen the guy from UTEP yet. His name's Scotty Walden.
Scotty, watched him last night.
Yeah, Scotty. Man, he brings tons of energy.
Big time.
Though they're 0-7. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to see, he recruited my son, Kaysen, back when he was at ETBU. And I remember our first time we met him, Kaysen's eyes got big. He's like, whoa, I don't, just because he had all that energy. He was just, but he has kept it. That's him.
Yeah.
And he does it, and that's awesome to see. That you're seeing real. You're not seeing fake there.
Yeah. Well, I was able to watch that last night, and every time the camera was on him, he was fired up about something. Well, Coach, always a pleasure visiting with you here on the show. We'll talk to you Friday night after the ball game.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks, that was head coach Kevin Davis. Thanks for listening tonight. For Dawson Bowes back at the studio, Tim Gallion here with us. I'm Rick Guillo. Good night, and God bless.